Good morning, everybody. My name is Janice Gerbrandt, and thank you for joining us today with the Professional Development Virtual Group. We are here today with Sandra Marin from Microsoft Learn, actually, and she's going to be talking to us about Microsoft Learn, getting your way around that platform for learning and certifications. But first, I have just a few minutes of past news. Let's see. That works. Okay, so first of all, I'd really like to give a big thank you to Microsoft Learn, which is our virtual group's sponsor. So it's because of Microsoft Learn that we can give you content such as this. The PASS Virtual Summit is coming up very soon. The general sessions have been announced and published, so feel free to go over and start making your schedule for the week. And while you're there, if you haven't done so yet, maybe check out a pre-conference session and add it to your registration. These are hands-on demo-filled days of absolutely fantastic learning. And speaking of PASS and learning, there is a new pro membership option where you will get discounts and networking opportunities and exclusive training. It's a good way to support PASS in this troubled times, but also getting value from your membership. There's some more virtual group webinars coming up over the next couple weeks from different groups. You can see some of them here. And some more even after that. We've got some fundamentals and cloud. SQL Saturdays have changed a bit in the last 7 months. They are now virtual, so you can see here that you can take part in any of these virtual ones. So upcoming in November, we have Montreal, Bangladesh, and Singapore. And speaking of virtual groups, this webinar is hosted by the Professional Development Group, but you can see there's several other active groups that you might want to join and check out their offerings if they're of interest to you. PASS has a career center for posting jobs and resumes. And if you haven't already done so, feel free to connect with PASS, especially on Twitter, and also YouTube. The PASS TV is a great resource for training. And so again, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to change the presenter to Sandra now. Thank you, Sandra. And while I'm thinking of it, this session will be recorded and posted to YouTube afterwards. You can always access any of the professional development sessions. If you go to our professional development website and you look at our past events, the links to the videos are there with the event. So as you see an event that looks good to you, please check it out. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Janice. Let's try this. The second, the third is the winner.
That's the right one. Before I stop talking, everybody, there's a questions pane. You can ask questions throughout the webinar, and then I will pass them to Sandra at the end. We'll hopefully have a few minutes for some Q&A. So I'm going to mute myself, but thank you again, Sandra.
No, thank you, Janice, and thank you for inviting me here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm very glad to be sharing this time with you today. I'm gonna give the camera just a moment so you see I'm real. This is not a recording, but I'm gonna shut it down. In this COVID era, we have a middle school teacher downstairs teaching, so he gets the bandwidth for the video. So I'm real, and I'll be back when we have the Q&A. But for now, I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm here today to share some information and to share some tips and tricks so you can have the best of Microsoft Learn to improve your skills on everything Microsoft, all Microsoft platforms, but in particular Azure. So we're gonna do mostly demos today. Feel free to ask questions anytime. through the chat window. Janice is gonna help me checking to make sure that we are answering all your questions. So our goals for today, we're gonna have a super quick overview to set the context of what is Microsoft Learn and how do we approach learning at Microsoft. Then I'm gonna show you some of the coolest things on Microsoft Learn. Some of them you might be aware, but hopefully I have a couple of surprises for you there on the platform. And finally, I'm gonna we want you to stay connected with us. We are working very close with PAS, and with this virtual group we will be working for the next month, very active, but you can also stay connected directly with Microsoft Learn. So I'm going to show you some options for that. So let me start with learning and Microsoft. How do we approach learning? We know that digital transformation is important for many companies, for a lot of companies, and companies are looking for themselves and their employees to have the right skills to embrace this digital transformation. And individuals like yourselves are looking to get to improve and to grow your career, so you can support your companies or your customers or partners in this digital transformation. And Microsoft is fully committed to this, so we work very hard to make sure that we have the right training, the right certifications, the right tools to support you and to support our customers and our partners in this journey. When we think about digital transformation, we think of what are the roles and the functions and the skills that a company needs to embrace digital transformation. So that is the most important thing for us to find out and to be sure that we are supporting our customers with the right roles, with the right skills. So we do a process that we call job task analysis. And this job task analysis, basically what we do is that we work with our engineers teams, with our customers, with industry analysts, with experts in technology. Is not only Microsoft knowledge and experience, but we actually look and work with a lot of different people from inside and outside Microsoft to understand what kind of roles a company needs to embrace digital transformation and to be successful in digital transformation. So this job task analysis allows us to identify what are these roles, but more than what the roles are is what these roles or what people in these roles need to know or what skills they need to actually be successful. This job task analysis leaves us with a map of roles, and for each role, a map of skills needed. With this master list of skills, we also identify like, okay, to get these skills, what is the training that a person needs to acquire or to grow these skills or to be better on this? So we, out of this job task analysis, we get a master list of roles and skills and what are the recommended learning paths for any person in this role to acquire these skills. This is the blueprint that sets us to define all the training, all the certification, all the events that we create at Microsoft. Everything is aligned, so we have aligned learning experiences. And we do this job task analysis not once, we actually do this every year. We go and review all our map and we see, is this still valid? Are these still the roles that we need? Are there new roles? Because new technologies are emerging all the time. So do we need a new role, or companies, do we need a new roles, or do the roles that we have defined need new skills? So this is a recurrent process that we do all the time. We keep refreshing this map so we are updated with the evolution and with the pace of technology. So we define all these learning experiences. And what are these learning experiences? What you find is self-paced learning that you probably have. When you hear of Microsoft Learn, probably the first thing that comes to your mind is the online self-paced training tool. That is a part of Microsoft Learn, self-paced learning. But we also have training events like Microsoft Ignite, Microsoft Build. You probably have heard in your countries something called Microsoft Virtual Training Days. All these events are part of the same structure that we have defined. But we also have instructor-led training. This is Microsoft official curriculum that is delivered by our Microsoft Learning partners. And this content can be taught only by Microsoft certified trainers. So we guarantee that is the content that is aligned to this map that we have created. And certifications, all this is aligned. So all the certifications are covered by this content. So if you take a look at the content that you find on Microsoft Learn, the content that you find at training events, or the content that is that you get via instructor led with our learning partners, all this content is aligned to the certification. So you can get the training and you can get the certification if that is a journey you want to do. But the important thing that everything is aligned. So Microsoft Learn is all this. Microsoft Learn is the brand, is the umbrella is the umbrella for all these learning experiences. Microsoft Learn is not just the online training that you have seen. And I'm going to show you how you can find all these different learning experiences within the online tool. Just to give you, you probably have seen some version of this. This is the full portfolio of Microsoft certifications, and this is for all the products that we have. And we have over, I don't know, I think we are close to 60, 40, 50 certifications, and we keep growing this portfolio as we identify new roles that are needed for digital transformation. So you will see new roles coming soon for Dynamics, for Azure, for Microsoft 365, for security. So this is a dynamic process. This is a living portfolio because we keep reviewing this all the time. So I'm not going to go in detail on certifications here, but I just wanted to give you a sense of all the things that we have available. And this certification, every certification has training associated, and it's training that you can find in the Microsoft Learn platform. And we do have additional training that is not related to certification, because some skills are not necessarily measured with a certification, but you still need those skills for the job. Migration, for example, is one of those concepts that if you are in the Azure world, if you're a developer or an administrator or a database administrator, probably in your daily tasks, you are thinking about migrating applications. So that is all content that is available. So I'm going to show you Microsoft Learn. So what I was saying before, Microsoft Learn is more than just the online training. Microsoft Learn is the collection of training options and certifications that Microsoft offers through self-paced learning, instructor-led training, and certifications. And I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to do a quick demo here. So I'm going to switch to Microsoft Learn. So if you go to Microsoft Learn, the link is microsoft.com/learn. Super easy. And I don't know if you have seen recently Microsoft Learn, and if you remember what it looked a couple of months ago, but now Microsoft Learn is customized to you. So you can see this is my Microsoft Learn, Sandra Marin. And the cool thing about this is that it's showing me my experience. So here are some of the modules and learning paths that I have either completed or I have started. So if I am doing some training, online training, I can see where I am right now. But I can also customize these. I can tell Microsoft Learn the things I am interested about. So it's asking me like, what are the roles you are interested? So I am interested in anything that it has to do with applications, infrastructure, data, and AI with Azure. So I have selected particularly roles that I'm interested in. Or I can say like, I'm not really sure. And then it's asking me, what is your skill level? I used to be an engineer so many years ago, but these days I'm more like a beginner. So I want to see beginners content, but you can select here all that you want. And what products are you interested in? So you can come and personalize these, and then Microsoft Learn is gonna tell me, like, we recommend this to you based on your selections. So you can make Microsoft Learn your Microsoft Learn. If you're interested in other, you can still go and look for other products and services that are not, or roles that are not in your selection. But we are recommending you based on what you do. And we are also telling you, hey, we have new content available. Go and check on this one. So that way you will see what is new, because we keep creating content all the time on Microsoft Learn. On weekly basis, we are releasing hundreds of learning paths and modules. So let's see how you can browse content. So you will see here in the top menu of Microsoft Learn products. So you can go by a particular product. So you can select here, oh, I want to see what is the Azure page. So this is a page dedicated exclusively to Azure. So this is some curated content that is specific to Azure that we are recommending you. So you can see here, like, okay, all the fundamentals training about Azure in Master Azure from the basics, or you can see here all the instructor led training that we have available for Azure, or the certifications that we have for Azure. This is content that we recommend you to start, but you can also see here what people what content people are checking on Learn. So this is the popular content that people are already doing. So these are different aspects of how you can use Azure. But if you know specifically, so let me show you here. If you go for the fundamentals, the training, I'm gonna open this in a new tab so you can see. So you will see here, we have created a collection of content that is specific if you want to go and understand the basics of Azure, all the fundamentals around Azure data, and around AI on Azure. So we have a collection of learning paths that we recommend you. If you are just beginning and starting, this is the one that you want to do. So this is a collection, a Microsoft official collection, and I'm going to show you collections in a second, but I wanted to show you this. Then if you want to find all the training associated with Azure, in-person training, instructor-led training, you can see here all the roles. I'm going to go to this in a moment. What about if you have a particular product or service that you want to learn about? So you can learn by product here, or you can go to this Browse All Paths. And this Browse All Paths is a search engine, so you can find everything you want. So you can find here, like, I want to see a module, or I want to see a learning path. So what is the difference between a module and a learning path? A module is a single piece of content. A learning path is several modules that together help you learn a particular topic. So it's a set of connected modules basically that we define at Microsoft, and we say like, oh, there are different modules, but a learning path will give you a complete end-to-end learning on a particular topic. So it's curated content. So I like to look by learning paths, and I was like, I want to know what's available for a data analyst, for example. So these are the learning paths that are recommended for data analysts. So you can filter here. But also, if you want to do a more thorough search, you can say like, okay, I only want to see what is available for Power BI. So you can filter here anything you want. You can do all kind of filters, and then you can also say like, you can also search by product. So if you are interested in Azure IoT, so this is all the content that is available for Azure IoT, modules and learning paths. And I want to see only modules. So you can combine here all kind of search. So this is, if you know a particular product or service that you want to learn about, and you know the name of the product or the name of the service, probably this is the best way to come and find what training is available for this. Or if you want to prepare for a particular role, I want to get all the knowledge for an AI engineer. So you can select the role. I like this browse all content option because it gives me flexibility. It gives me all the possible search options and filters, so you can find anything you want here by product name, by service, by role, by learning path, by level, advanced, beginner. So this is a very nice option. Now, and you can see here, like, I already completed this module. So actually I can hide. I want to see only the ones that I haven't done. So I can hide the modules or the learning paths that I have completed already. So this is very interesting. It's a very, it comes very handy. Now, you see, you can bookmark content. So you can save this, like, okay, I want to create a bookmark. So you can go and find later this particular content, and you can see your bookmarks in your profile. You can go and check your bookmarks, and you can see content that you have saved to consume later. And there is another cool thing called collections. Collections is, it's, as its name says, you can group learning paths and modules with your own particular criteria. So for example, let's go to the IoT one that I want to learn about IoT. What is IoT? IoT. So I want to save all the content for IoT because I want to go for the IoT developer certification. So you see this plus sign here. Add a collection. A collection is something that you create on your own and you can share. So I'm going to create a new collection that is going to be my IoT collection. And then I'm adding this module to my collection. I'm going to add something else. Just, I want the introduction to Azure IoT. So I'm going to add this to my IoT collection. Save. And then what do you do with a collection? So when you go and see your profile, you can see all the collections you have created. And this collection is something that you have all these grouped, and it's your own decision. Like, you have these groups of learning paths and modules, and you can check this. But the other cool thing is that you can share these collections. Collections are not if you don't share it, or if you don't share the link to the collection, people won't be able to find your collections, but you can share these collections. So you have the link and you can share them in social media, but you also can take this link and you can give this link to a group of people. It's like, hey, let's study together on IoT. And I have curated this content in a collection and I can share it. We do use collections all the time. So we have an official user for Azure Training and Certifications, and we have a set of collections that we have created. And we share these collections all the time with our learners. So if you remember the one I was showing before, the Master the Basics of Azure, this is one of the collections we have created for you. But we also have collections specific, like, oh, it's only data fundamentals. So we have a collection just for data fundamentals, and we have plenty of collections that available already, and we keep creating collections all the time, because that way we can curate content for you based on topics that you are telling us you are interested in. We realize that we have so much content available in Microsoft Learn, as you could see when I was showing the browse content, that it can be difficult to figure out what is the right content that I should go after, or that I should do next, learn next. So we have been creating these collections to help you identify content available by different topics. So this collection is a pretty cool feature, and the best thing is that you can create your own collections and you can share your own collections with somebody else. And I'm gonna give you at the end some of those collections that I was showing you, some of the most popular collections that we have created to help you understand. So Janice, do you have any question before I move to the next topic?
We do, but I have a feeling that we're going to come to them later, because they
Okay,
are about things like certifications and discounts.
okay.
So, okay.
Perfect. Cool. So certifications, that is a good segue. Mike, as I mentioned, certifications is part of Microsoft Learn, and you find all the certifications in Microsoft Learn. So you can find here, if you go, there is a menu here in the top called certifications, and you can come and see all our certifications available. There are different ways you can look at this. So what are my Microsoft certifications? Oh, I am a developer. What are all the certifications available for a developer? So you can click here and you can see all the developer certifications across all the products. Azure developer, Dynamics developer, Microsoft 365 developer. So depending on what kind of developer you are, you can discover here all the certifications available for your particular role. So you have the same for administrator. For solutions architect, it's another good one. You have solutions architect for Azure, you have for Dynamics, and well, for Azure and Dynamics. So this is one way to find certifications. If you go to the overview, and you can do. The other option is similar to the way we browse content. You can browse certifications. So here in the certifications menu, you can browse certifications, and then you can find a role here. So similar to what I was doing, like I want to see all the Azure certifications. So you can see here the exams or the certification itself. So I'm gonna filter by certification only. So you can see here all our certifications. And this is all connected. When you click on one certification here, it will take you to the certification page. And in the certification page, there are several pieces of information here that I don't know if you are aware of. First, this certification is going to tell you all the skills that are measured in this particular certification. And there is a document here that is one of the best kept secrets in Microsoft, which is called the Certification Skills Outline document. When you open this document, you see in detail all the skills and all the topics that are covered in this certification or on this exam associated to the certification. So if you are preparing for an exam, this document is a must go for you, because here you will see all the topics that you should know. All these topics, the questions in the exam will come from this document. So every exam has like, I don't know, 30, 35 questions, depending on the exam, 40 questions. And all the questions will be related to a topic that is here. You won't find questions that are not in this, questions for a topic that is not in this document. So if you are preparing for a Microsoft certification, always be sure to come and download the skills outline document, because this is your checklist. Like, oh, this is the Azure Database Administrator. They are going to ask me about how to deploy this database on different platforms. Do I know that? I don't know. Do I know how to configure SQL Server in Azure VMs? This probably I'm gonna get a question about this, so I better check on this topic. So this is a very valuable document. Now, the other two pieces of information here is how to prepare for this particular certification or exam. So let me go to the exam page. Actually, you find here all the content associated to this certification, both online, but also the instructor-led content that we have available that I was mentioning before. And you find here this in the certification page as well as in the exam page. So if you go to the exam page, you will see the same here. All the content associated to this particular exam and both online and instructor page. So this content is the one that I was showing you before. Like, for example, your Azure SQL Fundamentals. If you click on this one, if you remember, we talk about bookmarks and collections. You have all this experience here, and you can start your content here. And once you start this, it will show in your profile that you have started this. So everything is connected. Now, instructor-led training, there is a cool new feature that was released like a month ago. If you are interested in instructor-led training, so you can see here. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Let me find. I'm gonna look for the Azure Fundamentals training, just to show you something cool. So when you come take a look at an Azure training, fingers crossed this one will be available. What I want to show you. Yeah, this one has it. So you say like, I want to do my Azure Fundamentals training or my certification. So I want to see, is there training available, instructor-led training available? So I come here and it will send me to the course page. So I can see all the information about what is included in the course here. But there is another cool feature that was released soon, is that you can register and book for a class with a learning partner directly from Microsoft Learn. This is new. This was released at Ignite. So you can find courses in your city that learning partners are offering, and you can register here. So this is new. And now you have the complete experience. You want to take online training, so you come and take your self-paced learning. You want to take instructor-led training, now you find it here, and you can also find the learning partners that are offering it right now. So this is now available. You can also browse all the instructor-led courses. So similar to the browse experience, you can browse here like, okay, what is available for Azure for data engineers? So you have here all the courses. So these are just multiple ways to come and look for all the training experiences that you have available here. There is another, let me go back to Learn. There is another feature in Learn that I want to show you, and it's called Learn TV. Learn TV is it's a channel for where we have tons of training videos created by Microsoft available for you to consume on demand anytime you want. And actually some of these are live as well. So you have here a lot. If you prefer to do your training watching videos instead of the hands-on concept, you can come here and you can see videos for a lot of different topics across Microsoft. This is a Microsoft Learn is new. It was created, it was released a few months ago, so we are still building a lot of content here. But this is a very cool way to combine different ways to learning. If you prefer learning by watching videos, this is a good resource that you have available. So you can see here videos for a lot of things, and we keep releasing content on Microsoft on Learn TV all the time. And you can actually, if you miss some of the sessions for Microsoft Ignite, you can come see all these videos are hosted on Microsoft on Learn TV. So this is another very cool feature. There is something that I forgot to show you when we are doing the training for Microsoft, for Azure on Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn, I'm hoping I'm getting the good one, this exercise. So in Microsoft Learn, for a lot of the training, we have hands-on lab, meaning the training is not just coming to read something. The training is actually hands-on lab. So a lot of the content, you get to do it. You get to read and watch a video and learn something, but you also get to do something. So some of these trainings have very detailed exercises that you can do. And even for some of these trainings, we have that, because you need to do a hands-on lab, you can Microsoft Learn actually comes with a sandbox area, so you don't need an Azure subscription to do a lot of these hands-on labs. It's included on Azure, so you get access to the platform. It's included on Learn, so you have access to the platform, to the Azure sandbox, and you can come and do your labs, and you don't need an Azure subscription because it's included in Learn. And the other cool thing that you have is that you have knowledge checks. So after the learning path or the module, you have these little knowledge checks that is basically to review that you are actually understanding what you are learning. So all this is already included. The sandbox that is included for the hands-on labs is it's a temporary area. So whatever laboratory lab that you do on Microsoft Learn while you are doing your training, you cannot save that. It's a temporary area that we create while you are doing your lab, and then we remove that instance of Azure. So it's only available while you are doing your training and your labs. These are the cool things about Microsoft Learn. Now, I was mentioning some of the collections that we have available, and we keep updating and creating new collections. We keep curating content for you as we are releasing new content. So I just put here some of the most recent ones we have released. So you have, if you want to learn Azure Fundamentals, Data Fundamentals, AI Fundamentals, if you want to learn about hybrid cloud, and Windows Server on Azure and Windows Server on premises. This collection is very interesting. If you are interested in Linux on Azure, we have a curated collection. If you want to learn how to migrate applications to Azure, we have a collection, or how to migrate databases, or learning Databricks to do analytics. So these are some of the ones, and you'll get this deck. This information, so you can try some of these collections that we are curating. But the best way for you to stay connected with us and get more collections is we have a blog and we have a community. So if you come to the Microsoft blog, I'm gonna load it while we talk. We publish all the time in the Microsoft blog. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry for that. I'll update the link to make sure that you see. We have a community and a blog, and then we publish in this community all the time new content that is available, news about everything. So make sure you are following the community, you join the community, and you are following what we publish. At the same time, we have a blog, which is also part of the community. So we keep publishing articles about everything. So this is another great resource to stay connected with us. We also have our Twitter account and our LinkedIn account. We publish here all the time content, new stuff, events. We are informing you about new certifications, new exams, beta certifications, offers, discounts, new content available. So if you are active in social media, make sure that you are following us. And we do have a newsletter that we publish on a monthly basis. And this newsletter compiles all the information about the great stuff that is happening on Microsoft Learn across Azure, Dynamics, Power Platform, Microsoft 365, security, all the technologies and all the platforms that we have. And with that, I'm gonna stop here. And there are more resources that I'll share with you. But for now, I want to stop to address some of the questions that we have in the chat.
Oh, pardon me, a little froggy there. There was a question specifically about the DA100 exam outline. It has 2 sets of skills measured in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one that's seen some changes lately. Can you describe how those skills get, because they're in there twice, what should people look at?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me open that exam here. DA100 exam. Yeah, I forgot to mention about that. Thank you for asking that. So I mentioned that we have here the skills measure section, and when you download a document, sometimes this document will have literally red marks. They are red, and the red marks say, we always inform you when we are changing an exam, and the changes can be little or can be big. So in this case, for DA100, the changes are little, which means hey, we have updated some topics, or maybe there were some changes in the product name and we need to update the exam so it matches the product name. So am I still sharing the screen, Janice?
Yep, I see the document.
Okay, perfect. So if you open our skills document and you see this red mark, it will tell you what the changes are. So, and it will tell you when those changes are effective. So this is all. So if we were in August and you see this information helps you, because if you are taking the exam before this date, then the skill measures are the one in the first part of the document. But if you take the exam on this day or on this date of after, then you need to review the skills in the second part of the document, because those are the changes. And how do you identify the changes? Basically, because they will be marked in red. So this is the change that happened in this exam. So this means this new topic was added to the exam, and when it's scratched off, this means that this topic was removed from the exam. So this is the way you read these documents. Anytime you see a red mark, make sure you check on the date, and make sure you check on when you are doing your exam, because this will inform you if you need to focus on the first part of the document or on the second part of the document. Sometimes we do changes that are substantial, like I don't know if you remember, we did a few months ago, we changed the exam for Azure developer from AZ 203 to AZ 204. That means that the change was not as little as a couple of topics, but that means the exam changed substantially, more than 30%. When we change an exam more than 30%, we renumber the exam. We give a new number to the exam because the changes are substantial, and we need to make sure that you understand that probably what you study, you need to do a lot more study to cover the additional changes. So you will see that in these documents as well. So when we are changing an exam number, you will see a similar red mark here saying in X date, we are going to release a new version of the exam, and this new version will be will have new topics, and then you will see a lot more red marks in the second part of the document. So that was a great question. Thank you for asking that. I forgot to mention that.
Could you bring up the webpage for the blog again? I'd like to grab that,
Yes.
Earl, and put it in the
I will send you
chat.
the link. I will send you the link. Actually, it's aka.ms Microsoft Learn blog.
Okay. Microsoft Learn, all one word?
Yeah, all one word, and Microsoft complete, Microsoft Learn blog. And the community is aka.ms Microsoft Learn community.
Okay, just getting a few.
And we have a cool, like there are different, we publish in the blog information about I think I closed the blog. Silly me. We have a series for Azure certifications. So if you are coming to the Azure certifications, so and I have that link in the deck as well, so you can come and see the initial blog is called Understanding Microsoft Certifications, and from there you can go this one. So if you want to see the full scope of the Azure certifications, you can start here, and then you can go to finding the right Microsoft certification for you. That is the second blog in the series. And then we have a blog just for fundamentals. And we are releasing specific blogs for each one of the certifications. So we already have out all the fundamentals, DevOps engineer, and developer, and Azure developer, and we have a schedule to release more blogs. So this will give you all the information for any particular certification, where to start, what to do, where to get the content, and stuff like that.
Okay, we've got lots of good questions coming in. For some folks that have joined late, yes, the session is being recorded and it'll be posted later. If you go back to the professional development webpage and to this webinar's event, there will be a link at the bottom once it's available. It probably won't be very easy to find until tomorrow, so wait till tomorrow to look for it. Are all exams being taken at home only now?
Yes, our exam we have 2 exam providers, and given the situation, most of the testing centers worldwide are closed. So a majority of the exams are online only. There might be some testing centers open, and remind me, Janice, I'll get you the link or where you can find what testing centers are available. So basically you need to go to the Pearson VUE webpage. Pearson VUE is the company that provides the testing centers for us. So they are updating permanently if they are opening testing centers, but most of the testing centers are closed right now. There might be opening depending on how the countries are opening or closing, given the situation. They might be opening or closing all the time. So yeah, for sure we have online options, and you might find some testing centers open. But I'll give you the link or where you can find if there are testing centers open.
Sure, maybe a good way to do this, Sandra, would you have a chance to update your PowerPoint and then send it to me, and I will post it when I post the YouTube video, and then it'll be easy for everybody to find.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a great goal.
Can you talk about the option to purchase the retake when you register for an exam?
Yeah, we do have offers. There are options to the retake is, let me start with that. What is the retake? The retake is an option that you have that if you from the beginning you schedule and you buy your exam, and then you buy the retake option. So the retake option allows you, in case you don't pass the exam the first time, you are allowed to take the exam a second time. So because it's an offer, sometimes the retake is do the exam for a second time for free. Sometimes the retake is do the exam the second time with a 50 or with certain discount. I am not sure what is the current retake offer that we have right now, but I will get you the information and I will include it here. Because I don't have the information right with me right now, so I need to go and check what is the current offering. But this typically retake is an offer that is valid certain time of the year, and we remove it and we put it back depending on how we see the market is using it. So I think we have a retake right now available, but I'll get you more information and I'll include it in the deck as well.
Okay. This is a great question. So if somebody is taking either online or virtual instructor-led training, how would this person get access to the software needed for learning the software and the application of it?
So there are two options. If you are doing self-paced training on Microsoft Learn, some of the training includes hands-on labs. And if the training in Microsoft Learn, the self-paced training includes hands-on labs, then there is an Azure sandbox area included that you can use. So you don't need to have your own Azure subscription. You can use the one that is already included there. So that is how you access the software. So if the lab is included in the Microsoft Learn online training, you will have the Azure the Azure instance that you need to do that lab. Some of the features in Azure we cannot manage on Sandbox because are the most complex features. So in that case, we won't be able to provide the Sandbox area. For example, I think is some of the labs in the IoT training, the features are very sophisticated and we cannot have those features in a Sandbox area. So some of the IoT labs, you need to have your own subscription, but there is a free trial subscription that you can use while you are doing your learning for those cases when it's not included on Microsoft Learn. So that is one part. If you are taking in-person instructor-led training, then this instructor-led training, you will take it with a Microsoft Learning partner, and that Microsoft Learning partner will give you a temporary subscription to Azure that will be valid while you are taking the training with them. That's how it works typically. So for most of the training, you are covered with the training material. You will have Azure with the training material. For instructor-led training, I think it works the same for Dynamics and for Microsoft 365. Like you have temporary subscriptions that you can use for the laboratories. So this is included in the instructor-led training. But if you are doing your own training and you are not using Microsoft Learn, you probably did your own subscription or a trial subscription.
That's great, thank you. I would really like to spend the last few minutes talking about Microsoft Learn and the Virtual Past Summit.
Oh, totally. Thank you. We will be at the Virtual Past Summit. So Microsoft is a sponsor of Microsoft Pass, and we have a huge presence at the Pass Summit. So we will be we have a virtual booth as Microsoft, and we will be in the virtual booth throughout the duration of the event. So you will see me. I'll be there. Any additional questions that you have on training, certifications? Not only me, several of our colleagues in the Microsoft Learn team will be there to support any question that you have, including some of the content developers. So you will be able to ask for hopefully more technical questions. So yeah, thank you, Janice. Please come to Pass Summit. We do have actually a discount code from Microsoft to you. I'll include it in the deck if you want to register for Pass Summit. We have a discount code that you can use. So yeah, that's great, and there will be some interesting announcements at the summit of additional activities that we are doing with Pass to help you prepare for for certification. So be sure to be there.
Can we expect anything like some of the boot camps we've seen in the past? Maybe, maybe. You can't
Yes.
say? You don't know yet. You don't know yet. That's fine.
We're working on it. So you need to attend the past summit to figure out.
Okay. Okay. Are do you know of any
Actually, I think it's gonna be announced soon. It might be announced soon. I just don't want to what is the expression?
okay,
I don't
well,
want
you
to ruin
almost
the
heard it here
surprise.
first, folks.
Yeah, you'll hear soon from past team.
Okay. Are you aware of any discount vouchers for certifications that are out now or will be out soon?
We typically do offers in the context of events. So if you attended Ignite a few weeks ago and you were able to participate in the Cloud Skills Challenge, so you probably got the free exams. We have, as part of the activities we are organizing with PAS that will be disclosed soon, we have some options there available for you as well.
Okay. I think we're kind of coming to the end. I've got time for one more question, and this is about levels and XP points. And
Oh, yeah.
somebody's saying that the goal never quite adds up to complete when I use the learning path. Do you know about that?
These levels here at the XP point, if you don't mind to elaborate more the question, we have a forum, a support team for Microsoft Learn that I can include the information here as well, because probably that's a question that they'll be able to answer better than I do.
So if this person is still online and they want to either provide a little more detail right away, or you could just maybe email it to the profdev@pass.org email address, and I can make sure that that gets to Sandra. Maybe you guys can duke it out over
Yeah,
the...
and I will include the information from the community support for Microsoft Learn, where that question probably they will be able to answer that question. I'm sure.
Okay. Good. Well, we have hit 10 o'clock. So Sandra, I'd really like to thank you, and there's lots of thank yous coming in on the question pane for you. Thanks for your time today. I think it's really helpful to see an overall view of Microsoft Learn. I think in a lot of cases it kind of looks obvious, but it's not. And so having someone walk us through it, I think is really, really helpful. So thank you so much.
I enjoy being here, and I hope to see you at PAS Summit. And we have more. We probably will have more sessions for this particular virtual group. So let us know how we can help. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks everybody. I'm going to turn off the recording, and so again, it'll be posted to YouTube in the next day or so. And Sandra will send me some slides, and we'll post those up too. Thanks again.